Fly the friendly skies? Your opponent will think twice about that after facing the bomber deck. You'll take control of the game with tricky blue spells and wizards, and then your big flying creatures will really deliver a beating. You won't always attack much in the beginning of the game, but by the end, you'll be on top of the world. This is MTG Vintage Crack. Today we're going to be doing a special sort of opening, or a little bit different from what we usually do. We actually know what we'll be opening this time because it's a little intro theme deck.
Alright.
This is the Bomber deck from 7th edition. So, kind of the whole point of this deck is it's a traditional blue control deck. A lot of disruption and those sorts of things. A lot of defensive creatures, and then a couple of fat creatures to kind of help you win the game. So, yeah, nothing expensive in this thing at all. Most expensive card might be like $1, but we just figured it was cheap, it'd be fun to open.
I like opening things.
I like to open things. I like old lands, so
old lands.
that's probably worth the most out of the whole thing, to be honest.
Totally.
I have no idea.
Okay.
You may notice that the deck looks pretty small. It is a 40 card deck, so this is back when constructed decks were 40 cards. Need some help?
No.
And then they decided to change it to a 60 card minimum for constructed decks just because it made the game a little more interesting and not so, I guess, fast and not exciting. There we go.
Alright.
So we'll have 17, we'll just have 17 basic lands, I believe.
Okay.
17 islands.
Ooh. Alright, so there are those.
Yeah, I was trying to tell you to stop so that this
Sorry.
fucking train pass. So here we go. So this is a pretty classic card, Merfolk of the Pearl Trident. Been reprinted a ton of times.
Oh.
Then we've got just a bunch of random, just little nothing Merfolk. I mean, this is a 2/1 vanilla nothing. Pretty useless creature. A pretty useful card in the deck, so this will kind of help you dig through your deck, try to find counter spells or whatever you might need. Cool little sage owl.
Like the art on these.
Of course we like the art on these. That's cool too. Glacial Wall. 0/7 wall. So this is sort of your defense lineup. Try to help you stabilize and, get the upper hand in the game, so to speak. And then for those really long games, you have the Prodigal Sorcerer to deal the beats.
Oh, two.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a couple of copies. There's one of the rares in the deck, Daring Apprentice.
Ooh.
Little counter spell on a stick.
Oh, that's plastic. Is this?
Neat little wall of air. There's a lot of one-ofs in this deck, which is pretty interesting that they would use that as a pre-constructed deck. Thieving Magpie will also put some work in for you. Draw some cards. Cool old art air elemental.
Right.
Which is actually, I think, the cover of the box, right?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Cool.
That.
Unsummon, another classic card. Boomerang, which I know we've opened some think revised or 4th edition versions of. Classic counterspell. Inspiration to inspire you. And Ancestral Memories, which is the other rare in the deck. A not as good Ancestral Vision or Ancestral Recall. Oh, cool. Well, I didn't know that came in there. That made it worth it for me. That is an awesome old school foil basic land.
Right.
So that definitely just made it all worth it for me.
Right. We love foils.
Yep. That's pretty much it for this. This is just a quick little video. We just wanted to branch out and try doing some other things other than hopefully we open something good.
Even though we still open something
exactly.
good.
So that's it for this time. Thanks for watching. If you like what you watched, go ahead and leave us a like. And if you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks again.